delicate to me every time she comes, sweet to me, but when she's done is a reason why I'm going blind. Father Death beats down my door, I'll search for her, leave the rest ashore, hold her eyes, never run and hide. Dynamite, Toblerone, I cannot lie, there goes my nose. Colored dreams, endless road. Little bird, it's time to be without a cage, alone and free. Holy moly, she's gone to the country her heart belongs. All the girls who sing her song help the man who took her wrong. In the light where they all drown, I'll be found, I'll be found. In the light where they all drown, I'll be found, I'll be found. When the wolf is outside her door, certainly you'll find me. I'll take his life and set her free. Wrestle bears, my underwear, shit out the lights, I don't really care. Beyond the dream, beyond repair. When she's done with me, I'm not afraid to believe in all the love she gave to me. Broken wing, hungry bee, when you land, come back to me. Holy moly, she's gone to the country her heart belongs. All the girls who sing her song help the man who took her wrong. In a light where they all drown, I'll be found, I'll be found. In a light where they all drown, I'll be found, I'll be found.
Well, Gordie, welcome back to St. John's.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So you were here 2-3 years ago for the Newfoundland Labrador Folk Festival. Your first time in St. John's. What's it like being back here?
Well, when I left before, I just couldn't wait to come back. So I've been looking forward to this for months now, believe it or not. And as soon as I saw the opportunity and a small sliver of light open, I jumped on it. So
you jumped on it.
I jumped on it.
And of course, you brought all the good weather with you.
Of course, I tried to bring some snow, and managed to just bring a lot of rain.
A lot of rain. Well, I hope you're enjoying your time despite all the rain, because I know that you're traveling across the island. Have you received a warm welcome from everybody while you've been on this tour?
Not one person has thrown anything at us. It's been great. We flew into Deer Lake on Monday. We were in Stephenville and Corner Brook, and last night in Gander. And tonight we're in Brigus, and then tomorrow we're at the Ship Inn in St. John's, and then English Harbour Arts Centre on Sunday.
All over the place.
Lewisport on Monday, and then Tuesday in Grand Falls.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So when you, I know that you did a world tour last year. You're doing a complete tour of Newfoundland right now. When you visit, when you're doing a tour and you're going to all these different places, how different is it when you're performing? Like just even say in Newfoundland, when you're thinking of your audience and who you're performing
Well, I like the Newfoundlanders, like I like the Irish and the Yukoners, because They have a little bit of sarcasm, just a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit, and they have a great sense of humor, and they want to be entertained. They don't want to just come and watch something. They want to feel something. They want to get rowdy. They want to be stimulated. They also want to be taken in. So I find that the audiences here really respond well to what we do, and they're really kind to us, so it's great.
And just in making that connection to your viewing, your listening audience here, and just with you yourself, you're known as, a very good storyteller within your writing, your songwriting. Do you find that people that you can connect to this province or people here, because we're also known as a province who are, there's just a great amount of storytellers here.
Oh, for sure. I remember the first time I came here, and I was at an after party for the folk festival at the Ship, and a fellow stood up and told a recitation, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
And apparently someone whispered to me, and everybody got really quiet, and somebody said, that's a 400-year-old. I said, what is this, a dirge or a poem? Or he said, oh, it's 400 years old, and it's from his family. And I thought, geez, this is amazing. And it's very similar, maybe less so in a sense in the Yukon, but that flair for telling stories and for writing songs and expressing them, albeit if it's not on a stage. But most of the great songwriters and writers in the North, they don't have to get in front of people. They just share it with their family and friends, which is very common here as well. So.
Right. I want to get a little bit personal with you here now in terms of going back to, I guess, your childhood. I was reading on your website before you were coming in for this interview, and it talked about how you were how growing up in a violent home, but you channeled that. And you put all that through and tried to make positive strides within your life, whether it was dance or you did theater, sport, and you were even a 3-time Golden Glove champion in boxing. Where did music come into all of this?
It was always in my house and around me, and my mom, I guess, was the biggest influence. She had it constantly going on, and she tried to persuade all of us to take piano lessons, and none of us did, and she was highly engaging and entertaining, and the only thing we could listen to was the CBC, so we constantly had the CBC going. And though our home was definitely broken, and a lot of people's ours, it's no different than anyone else's. A lot of people have gone through the same things, and I think that for me, I realized that as well as my siblings and my mother realized, you have to get through this, and what. You can take these unfortunate things and make them become fortunate things and learn something from them. And so when I first started writing, I started writing a lot of biographical sort of stuff about, someone told me once, you should just write what you know. And that's really the only thing I knew, was all these stories. And often they would be about my personal life. And people would say, I would never kind of confess that at first. They would just think it was some character I had written about. All these story songs.
So even though it was so close to you, you didn't want to let that out at that moment.
But at the same time, it was a great way to let them out. It was a great way to go to let that kind of stuff out, and also acknowledge it, but not let it be, take over who you are, who you want to be. And I realized, like, hey, I don't have to be, because of the situation or whatever situation, of that situation, I don't have to let it dictate what I want to do. But I can acknowledge it and do something about it. And at that point, it was really great to find an outlet, which was really, in the end, songwriting. So.
And just tell me a little bit more about that in terms of your storytelling. Your first 3 albums, like you said, a lot of that came out within those albums. You're, looking to go into the studio and working on a new album. How will this new album differ from what you have done in the past, do you think?
I think that. I'm sort of always trying to set the bar higher than you started out. So every album I'm trying to improve on something. So I'll pick a couple things that I want to get better at, because to me it has to, never mind the business end of it. Personally, when I'm playing music or just the artistic end of it, I like to grow. And I started so late that I knew when I started that this is not, you can't just start playing music and stuff. You gotta put some time into it. And because I started so late, I knew right away it was going to take 20 years before I felt like I could do what I had wanted to do. So I'm sort of halfway through that period, and every time I make an album, I try to pick apart some the musical sort of end of it and figure out what I can improve on and get stronger at. So.
We've had a lot of musicians. Of course, our show here, Out of the Fog, is very strong in supporting local musicians and of course, inviting a lot of guests in who are coming from away. There's also, there's always a lot of talk of, obviously songwriting and music is so personal, yet there is the business aspect to it. How do you, you have to make the two come together, but how do you not let the personal, I guess, take over?
Well, I've learned you get a really thick skin, and then when you think it's thick, it just gets thicker and thicker. And there's always going to be someone telling you that they don't like what you do or who you are or what you look like for anything and everything. So it gets to the point where you decide what makes you happy at the end of the day and just keep doing it. I, unlike a lot of my artist friends, don't enjoy the business end of it. I think it's great to get yourself into situations or take risks that normally you're not supposed to be doing or allowed to do, or create opportunities for yourself. And I think that that's the challenge of that's been really great, but I've learned to also not get too carried away and too driven in that sense, and then go back to, okay, at the end of the day, you still have to be able to perform and be a good performer. And most of my heroes, they don't, they did those things that I'm doing when they were younger. Now they just, they don't have time to answer the phone because they're too busy playing their instrument, right? So that's sort of the place where I want to work to, where I don't have to leave my house less and less, and I can spend more time just creating songs and writing.
All right. I also read there was an article, and they compared you to John Prine.
Well, that's a pretty.
Which is he's an outstanding.
It's a bit excessive for
musician.
Sure.
What are your thoughts when somebody compares you to somebody like John Prine?
It's amazing, but it's totally there's no John Prine. There's no one else like John Prine, and I'll never be like John Prine. But I listened to a lot of John Prine, and when I started writing songs, when I started thinking about really writing songs, and when that really changed for me, I was thinking about different guys that I appreciated, and he was definitely one of them, and I heard him all through my childhood, and other people even sing his songs, and I thought, that's the kind of thing I can relate to, where it's like a blue collar, off the cuff, there's no real formula, it changes all the time. He writes about, the themes range, and they're timeless kind of stuff. So I just listened to his stuff, and I think some of maybe some ideas, of course, when you listen to people, some of the stuff that you do comes out in that, but there's no one like John Prine for sure.
All right, well, we have come to the end of our interview time here tonight. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Erin. It's
great. All the best in the future, of course, with your tour here in Newfoundland and the upcoming album.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Nice to see you.
You too.
All right, we'll be back with lots more here to come on Out of the Fog.
Drove that sunset, holding hands, all our words spilled in the van. I may have a few left for you. Come on, little one, let's put White Horse in the rear. Making out in this northern town, love never hurt some Keno City bound. Keno City bound. Marry me, I'll marry you. It won't hurt, not a bit, that's for sure. You're not safe and I'm not scared to see it through. See it through. See it's true, I'm not scared to see it through. Chief, and I'll be the mayor. A wall tent whoopee with no underwear. Be careful what you wish for on the other side. Come on, little one, it's too late for you to run and hide. Making out in this northern town, love never hurt some Keno City bound. Keno City bound. Marry me, I'll marry you. It won't hurt, not a bit, that's for sure. You're not safe and I'm not scared to see it through. See it through. See it through. I'm not scared to see it through. romance, yesterday's news. The sky never changes, and neither should you. Hammock dreaming, ducking for kisses. This love will never end. And mom, little one, piss on my fire. I'm gonna burn up your land. Hanging out in this northern town. Love never hurt some Kino City bound. Kino City bound. Marry me, I'll marry you. It won't hurt, not a bit, that's for sure. You're not safe and I'm not scared to see it's true. See it's true. See it's true, I'm not scared to see it's true with you.